Welcome, everybody, and this is the great interview we are doing for Wrestler Nostalgico. Wrestler Nostalgico. It's a great place to go on Facebook. If you haven't been a member, everybody, please go be a member at Wrestling Nostalgico. This is your host, Big Vito Lagrasso from Staten Island, New York, in Italy's #1 son. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody's having a great day. We've been working on this interview for quite some time, but due to certain circumstances and, my personal life and everything, we had to put it on hold. We're able to do it today. I hope everybody enjoys it for Wrestler Nostalgico. So, with my lovely host in the background, can you give me the first question, please?
Tell us about your Italian origins. Who are your Italian relatives?
Well, my family is from Tarantina, Italy. My grandfather was a fisherman. Figured my father came over about in 1963 from Italy, settled in New York, in Brooklyn, met my mother, and before you knew it, they got married. And then the rest of the family from Italy came over and started life. They had 8 brothers and sisters. They all came over. Some still stayed. I had an Uncle Sal who was in the army in Italy, and he had passed away. My grandmother and grandfather are of Italian descent. They're both from Italy. So, I do have some strong roots there, and that's where we start the show. Go ahead.
How did your passion for wrestling start?
My passion for wrestling started was I was a young boy, and I used to watch it on WOR, Channel 9 at midnight, like everybody else. And, you're a fan back then. The wrestlers were bigger than life. They were men with men bodies. They were huge. They were tough. You got to see Bruno Sammartino, Chief Jay Strongbow, Ernie Ladd, Big John Studd, Hulk Hogan, a whole host of big other guys who you just sat there and watched and you're like, wow, this is something.
Where did you start wrestling?
I started wrestling in 1990 for Johnny Rodz. He's a WWE Hall of Famer in Gleason's Gym in Brooklyn, New York. I had tried my hand at Olympic baseball, pro basketball, semi-pro football. I came back, and I came to the conclusion. I said one day I was sitting there watching wrestling. I said I could do this. I went to Johnny Rodz school. I did a couple of interviews, and I started training at Johnny Rodz's.
Which wrestlers did you like the most?
I guess everybody was a fan of Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man, Ric Flair, the Ultimate Warrior. There were a whole host of guys. A guy like Bret Hart really caught my eye. And, it was just everything about wrestling back then that made me want to be a wrestler.
Which were the most exciting moments you experienced in your wrestling career?
Well, as everybody knows, I've been to the Grand Slam of wrestling. I've wrestled for ECW, WCW, TNA, the WWE. I've wrestled in Japan. I've wrestled all over the world. I guess if you have to say what my biggest moment was, I say for us Italians, it would be when Mama Luke's winning the WCW Tag Team Championship with Johnny the Bull. Second biggest moment would probably be the night I beat Terry Funk for the hardcore title. And then the third biggest one is tagging, being Nunzio's bodyguard. Nunzio from the WWE being part of the FBI and winning the Cruiserweight title. That was probably one of my best. Nunzio, my paisan. Johnny the Bull, my paisan. Next question.
Was it exciting for you to come to Italy on the WWE tour?
It was the most exciting time of my life. I got to wrestle in front of family that I never met before, friends I never met before. It was like a dream come true. And the day I won the Battle Royal and all of Italy was cheering me, 15,000 strong, cheering my name. I stood there with the Italian flag, and it was one of the best times of my life.
Did you like your cross-dressing character? Did you mind separating from Nunzio?
Separating from Nunzio was kind of hard because, we were such a good tag team. We're such good friends. But then they had other plans for Nunzio, and they came up with the cross-dressing thing. The cross-dressing thing really, showed my true professionalism as a pro and showed all the hard work I put into it, because it's not easy to transition. But there I took something and made it into something big, something loved. People saw a different side of me. So I think all in all, it was a good experience, not only for the fans, but for myself, because I learned about life and I learned about a lot of other different things.
Are you still involved in the wrestling world?
I'm still involved in wrestling, maybe not as much as before, but I still have a hand in it. We do our podcast with the Big Vito brand, and we do, some things, but everybody moves on from wrestling, and there's life after wrestling. I just have to say that sometimes you just put what you did great in your life, you could put it forward and say, okay, I did this, and then there comes a part in your life where the second part of your life where you say, hey, I want to do other things, like getting married, starting a family, having other things important to you, and there is life after wrestling, and not a lot of people look at it like that.
So you opened a YouTube channel some time ago. Tell us about the Big Vito brand. How did this idea start? I think you mean their Twitch channel.
Well, I'll give you the whole Big Vito scenario. My wife was very sick for a few years, and she needed to do something to get herself back on track. So I said, let's start the Big Vito brand. Let's start getting your brain working. Let's do your computer. Let's start getting you into it. So I went to my buddy Vince Russo. And Vince Russo and I came up with the Big Vito brand, and we started doing podcasts. And so I started doing shows with Vince Russo. And then my wife started to enhance herself and get herself back into the swing of things, because she had lost a lot of memory with the stroke. So basically, it was a rehabilitation tool for my wife. And from there, we went on to do different shows and have Twitch, and we do a lot of different affiliates, I'm going to have my wife, she's in the back room right now, tell us about all the different things that we have going on in our networks.
So we no longer use our YouTube channel due to monetization, but we switched to twitch.tv/the Big Vito brand, where we live stream and our podcasts appear there. Also, you can catch our audio podcast on anchor.fm/the Big Vito brand. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can watch or listen to a podcast, you can find us. We're all over the place. We're also on the Russo brand, so you can find us on iHeartRadio and the Realm Network. So we're out there a good bit. We're in a lot of places, where you could just go over to the bigvitobrand.com and you can see all of our affiliates and links listed there.
That's right, bigvitobrand.com. Do we have any more questions?
He says, try to greet the fans, speak in Italian, or say something about the name of their page.
Okay. Wrestling Nostalgico is probably one of the most biggest, interesting, probably unique wrestling sites that are out there. If you're on Facebook, go give them a like. Go hit their page up. They have a lot of great things going on there. I know a lot of people in Italy would wish I'd come back, and I would love to come back to Italy one more time.
Chop them up with a little Italian.
Well, stop the bono, Wrestling Nostalgico. Stop the bono. But, best thing I could say right now is thank you to all the wrestling fans in Italy. If it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have went as strong as I did. I know I have a lot of love and support out there. Your editor and the producer, Michael, has done a great job with the page. He's done a tremendous thing of just, getting everybody together, doing a lot of good work. Hit him up on Facebook. Everybody out there, go to Wrestling Nostalgico.
Wrestler Nostalgico.
Wrestling Nostalgico. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to go. Hit it up. Give a hello. And this is Big Vito LaGrasso saying thank you to everybody. We'll see you soon. And like I said, start the bone.
Riddle beat.
Yeah. I feel like Big Vito. Yeah. I feel like Big Vito. Yeah. Feel like Big Vito. Yeah.